Welcome all of you here once again in another session, and we'll be resuming what we have been doing, another All India Live mock test. Before I start, let me inform you on this Father's Day, we have an offer. One can grab flat 59% off on SSC course subscriptions or batches or PYQs or mock tests. The super elite one in which everything is included. Do check before you leave. Can use the code DEAD to grab flat 59% off. We start the test now. We'll inform you in the end. And yes, even before that, let me inform you that now each and every set available at Oliveboard has that sectional timing which has been introduced by SSC. So do attempt with the timer so that you adapt yourself as per the changes, and there should be no disturbance out there in the real examination. Here we go ahead. Now, reducing brightness so that it goes clearer for you. Here we go. So what's the spelling of the word to make a formal request? I'm sure you have heard solicitor or solicitor general. Solicit makes sense, the first one, no S in between C, no double L either, no double T either. Solicit, which is to make a formal request. Annoyance is going to be disturbance. The opposite of annoyance, why are you disturbing me? Oh, he made me happy. Pleasure, straight. Embrace could be close. This is to embrace, not to embarrass. The positive one. But we have a better choice. Acceptance may be in a bad sense. Violation should be synonymous, not the negative tone. So annoy, to disturb someone. Pleasure, to make someone happy. The antonym. I'm sure you have gone through the test, so solving that at that pace. He behaved as if you are speaking as if you were the Prime Minister. You are not the Prime Minister. So as if, as though, these conjunctions show the same. Fortunately, the given statement belongs to past. He behaved. And if it is past, it should be in past. So not know or knows, knew should be correct. I used a little extra brain, had to pay the price, stay in the limits. I'm saying this to myself. The curator said that the miniature is painted in Jaipur before it was acquired by the museum. Obviously, the situation belongs to past, so it should be in past, was painted. And we have before here. All of us know before. In the previous set, there was another sentence such. Before takes the perfect tone, so not was painted, had been painted. Answer. As a teacher, I thought a little extra. Clicked D. I thought the conditional clause, since it belongs to the I shouldn't explain that here because the answer is wrong. So I take the blame, no objection. That's the answer. The curator said that miniature is, the situation belongs to past, it should be was. Before should be had been. The only, possible answer, had been painted. The manager gave an explanation, noun. Clearly explanation, nouns are not modified by adverbs. An adjective should be here. Clear explanation. Grammatically correct sentence. A water, what nonsense. Water is uncountable, can't be a water. D doesn't exist. A water, can't be, impossible. C doesn't exist. You have just two options, either A or B. The water in the bottle is cold makes sense. The water in an bottle, bottle has a B consonant sound, and impossible, just one option. He is or she is fat than done. Don't read the sentence further. You have a blunder, not a mistake. Fat than in a positive degree, we don't use then. Either say as fat as or say fatter than. That's it. Need not read the next sentence. Impossible. Fat than. Good than. Someone, okay, you need the passive voice. I think you remember passive is be plus V3, where be is MR, was, were with a third form. So someone had misplaced the keys. This is active. Has misplaced active. Were misplaced passive. Misplaced active. B plus V3 is a passive. That was super difficult. Got this correct? Might have got this wrong, no problem. One of the meanings of the word can't. I remember it's slope. It's a vulgar term also. Let's not say vulgar, say slang. And it's jargon also, the type of technical words used in a particular place or profession. Jargons, the technical terms used in a specific place. So it's a slope or slant, jargon and slang. Insincere talk about moral, religious principles define this slang variation. Special vocabulary defines this jargon one. A slope, tilt, angle, obviously it is. All in all, that has to be the odd one out. A written order allowing goods to pass through customs. No, that's not can't. Feel free to ask if there is any doubt. The curator specialized in, I don't know, maybe this, or that, the description. Coins. Oh, so they are asking one word by putting it in a sentence. Philatelist, I remember for postal stamps. Numismatists, matist, I said, the person, matics, the science, obviously for coins. That has to be the answer. Lexicography. It is for writing dictionaries. The one who writes dictionaries is called lexicographer. Calligraphy, beautiful handwriting, opposite to mine. So coins for sure, numismatist. I think all of us remember. Now here comes an RC and we go live. I don't solve RCs. Have to read the passage thrice live here in another session and there. So I solve that live. And those who are regular here, I honestly show that. There was the extra mind I applied, had to pay the price for. When the RC is easy, you can answer the grammar or the vocabulary questions casually. But this time it wasn't easy and all the questions had to be answered from the passage itself. So I didn't attempt this. Let's go straight. Existentialism emerged as an influential philosophical and literary movement in Europe during the 19th and 20th centuries. Thinkers like explored the themes of freedom, responsibility, individuals' search for meaning in an uncertain world. Unlike traditional philosophies that emphasized universal truths, fixed systems, existentialism focused on personal experience and human choice. Writers argued that individuals are not born with predetermined purposes. Instead, they create meaning through their actions, decisions. He declared that existence precedes essence, suggesting that human beings first exist and later define themselves through their experience. Meaningful words. Someone, particularly in works like The Myth of, examined the idea of the absurd, which arises from the conflict between humans' desire for meaning and the indifferent nature of the universe. The literature often portrays characters facing isolation, anxiety, dilemmas. However, rather than encouraging despair, It emphasizes authenticity and the courage to accept responsibility for one's choices. In this way, the movement reshaped modern literature by placing human freedom and subjective experience at the center of philosophical inquiry. Anyone here who wishes to answer? You have the options, you have the question. What's the central philosophical shift introduced by existentialism as described in the passage? Not replacing. Yes, I've got my answer waiting for yours, else I'll explain. Okay, as you have gone through that one line, existence precedes essence. That means humans exist first, they define them or themselves later. Okay. It replaces universal truths, fixed morals, with emphasis on individual experience and personal choice. Yes, individuals. Focused on personal experience and human choice. They have said that a number of times. Unlike traditional philosophies, unlike the traditional philosophies that emphasized universal truths of fixed systems, it focused on personal experience and human choice, the best choice, replacing universal truths, fixed moral systems with emphasis on individual experience and personal choice. Strengthening the traditional moral philosophies? No, unlike them. Prioritizing scientific reasoning? No. Rejecting human freedom? No, 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 no. Supporting human freedom, human choice, human experience, not the fixed principles or truths. What does the statement adorable existence precedes essence imply? Done. Human beings are born with a fixed essence that determines no, 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 no. We come first, we define ourselves then. No. It doesn't define our identity. Human existence is defined by biological. No, we define ourselves later. Individuals first exist. Yes, that was marked. Human beings first exist. They define themselves later through experience. Individuals first exist without any purpose. They later define themselves through actions and choices. Better than the best. Feel free to ask if you have any objection. What's the concept of the word absurd? Absurd is defined in the next line. Absurd, which arises from the conflict between. So absurd defines the harmony, the conflict, the rejection, the belief. Obviously, the passage itself says the absurd, which arises from the conflict between. So the conflict between, obviously, as a teacher, I'm answering this because I can, excuse me. But in examination, even I won't answer so simply because we are not in the real examination. I am not supposed to appear in the real examination. You are. So please confirm all the words. Conflict between humanity's desire and the indifferent nature of the universe. Conflict between humanity's surge, desire, fine, and the indifferent. Yes, 100% correct now. Just don't look at the word because sometimes the one who sets the question paper, they copy the word, they put a synonym of that, they change words here. The whole of the answer has to be correct, not just one word. Oh, how do existentialist writers portray their literary characters according to the passage? How do they portray their characters? Heroic figures? No. Rational thinkers? Okay. We don't have any heroic figure in the passage. We don't have rational thinkers who resolve conflicts in the passage. We have individuals who have their own identity. Passive individuals? Why? How? We are defining ourselves. We are not passive. Maybe this line is mentioned, moral dilemmas, isolation and anxiety. I answered from what I remember from the passage, but this is exactly mentioned here. Literature often portrays characters facing isolation, anxiety, moral dilemmas. Individuals experiencing isolation, dilemmas, anxiety, confronting this and that. So what's the emphasis of in relation to life and responsibility? It doesn't encourage dependence, nor does it promote avoidance of responsibility. It argues human freedom is illusion. Nonsense options. Encourages dependence. No, the passage says we define ourselves, not dependent on basic truth and all. Promotes avoidance of responsibility. The theme wasn't negative. Human freedom is illusion. False, fake. No. It emphasizes authenticity. You define yourself. You can't be forced on what others do, so you have to be such. You are you. Authenticity. You're for your own actions, choices. That is also straight mentioned here. They argued that individuals are not born with predetermined purposes. They create meaning through their actions and their decisions. Yep. If you remember the tone, theme, flow of the passage, you can answer, I think, most of the questions if the options have direct elimination. Feel free to ask if there is any doubt. Children gathered, the storyteller, you gather around. Across is for one point to the other point. It's overall also, but not across the storyteller. The storyteller won't be covered. He'll be surrounded, something such. Under the storyteller, behind the storyteller, people gather around. Basically, someone is here, you the whole 9 yards. If it says whole, have you read the whole chapter? Yes, I have read the whole chapter, the whole book. In this whole world, you can't find someone like him. In this world, that's it. Talking about the complete sense. Invention? No. Everything possible or available, completely whole. Yes. No risk, no negativity. Industrious is hardworking. I don't remember the meaning of this. I have come across this, but not that often, so don't remember. We'll check live. Diligent is hardworking, so they are synonymous. Answer. I probably answered this in 5-7 seconds such. Indolent is lazy, not the answer. Opposite. Hackneyed, cliche, repetition, having nothing new is a negative word. Let's check that. Subterfuge. Industrious, hardworking. Indolent, lazy. Yep. Subterfuge means deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. Okay, this is to deceit. Hackneyed, overused, having nothing new. Cliche, unoriginal, trite, deceit, this subterfuge. Okay. Okay. Next, she ordered her children to clean their study tables. Clean, hey, clean your study tables. Clean for, we can't insert anything from our own side. Clean them, impossible. Clean and, there is no conjunction. Your, possessive adjective, their, possessive adjective, photocopy. Imperatives, starting with V1. We had all the, what should I say, options starting with a V1. Finishing things off. Deter is to stop from progressing. So discourage, synonym. Prevent, synonym. Hinder, synonym. Please come with us. Please. Persuade, antonymous. The rest of those are synonyms, so that has to be the only antonym. And yes, that goes the opposite way. Deter, stop from progressing. Some restriction in between, hindrance, prevent, prevention, or discourage. Easy peasy para-jumbles. The problem becomes sharper. Which problem? It shouldn't be the first one. Drop it. A proverb rarely carries its force through dictionary meaning alone. It has to be the descriptive one. We have two options. In that case, in which case, can't be the first one. Not available either. It depends on, can't be the first one. Dropped. So the second one has to be the first one. And a good translator, therefore, should be the ending one, fifth in the ending given here. Now, before clicking there in the examination, I'll check this once. Otherwise, now we have sectional timer. If you solve the set in just 7 minutes, what would you do for next 8 minutes? So let's make it accurate. Not only, what should I say, speed, but also accuracy matters. You know this. Let's check. 24135 out of elimination. Let's read this way. If there is a barrier, we will see that. A proverb doesn't carry its force through the dictionary meaning alone. It depends on shared habits, logic, or local imagery, familiar pattern of use. That's how a proverb is used. Not just the words can define it. The problem becomes sharper when the translation keeps every word but loses the situation in which the words are spoken. Perfect. In that case, the translated line may sound accurate, but fail to produce the caution, the humor, or the rebuke intended in the proverb. Perfect. If you talk about the translation, this is also talking about translation. So a good translator, another one talking about translation, therefore, may sometimes choose this or that. Perfectly concluded. Few more. The spelling of etiquette. I think we know this. Without the options, we must remember this. E-T-I-Q-U-E-double-T-E. E-T-I, not A. Okay, but no double T. E-T-I-Q-U-E, not A. Yes. Your behavior. Manners. Aggravate is to make a situation even worse. Synonym, worsen. I won't look at any other option. With experience, I'm saying, I think all of you know this. Aggravate a situation is to make it even worse. Worsen the situation. The opposite is alleviate. The opposite. If they had asked the opposite, click, synonym, done. Yield is to surrender. Voluble, having much volume. He suggested, everyone here, once again the subjunctive mood. I suggest you do this. It takes a V1. After suggest, order, insist, command, demand, request, we put V1, the present subjunctive mood. That's the second form. I hope you see that. No SES, no model etc, flat V1. I suggest he rest for a while. I suggest she join this post. Last. And the least. She is studying some new skills. Okay, present continuous tense. Some new skills being, what about a finite verb here? Drop it. Verb, but that was present. Are studied, fine, but what about this ing? Are ing studied, passive. Nancy and Neha, Kajal, thank you so much. Good evening, welcome, Radhe Radhe, Jai Ma Kali. I have a doubt in question number 78. Yes, yes, that's the answer. I used extra mind and I got this wrong. Probably this is the one you're talking about, 78. 78? Hold on. Okay, okay. No, 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 no. See, what 77 is 78. Sorry, what 78 is 79. Don't change the tone of the author. I know that. No, I wish I knew that. And if you have asked in Hindi, let me talk to you in Hindi. अरे यार तुम तो ऐसे बोल रहे हो जैसे देश के प्रधानमंत्री हो. You were behaving as if you were the prime minister. Not प्रधानमंत्री हो चुके थे, बन चुके थे. यहाँ परफेक्ट होनी चाहिए. भावना एक बार देखेगा. पक्का? Kajal, this is the English medium one, sending for the Hinglish medium one now in a minute. Nancy, thank you. Thank you, Kajal. Neha, Bhavna. Okay. वो तो ऐसे बोल रहा था जैसे उसको सब पता हो. उसको लग रहा था उसको सब पता था. Not सब पता चल चुका था. He had known. वो फिर ज्यादा हो जाएगा. भावना. Okay. If yes, finishing things now. Just informing you of this first of all, that we have this sectional timer now. For each and every set, make use of it. Make use of it. Adapt yourself. And yes, let me inform you of this ongoing offer. Celebrating Father's Day, one can grab flat 59% off on any subscription, be it SSC Lite or Elite or Super Elite or SSC Plus Railways Super Elite or Elite if you're preparing for both segments together. Everything is mentioned, what's included, what's not, in detail. We suggest Super Elite, in which you can get everything in the SSC stream at once. The batches which are running, the batches which are going to start, for CGL, for CHSL, Tier 1, Tier 2 and everything. Check the desired validity, go grab them. Thank you. See you pretty soon, tomorrow at the same time here. Thanks everyone. See you.